Coming up on BG24 News.
President Mary Ellen Mazie addressed the university earlier today. Find out her plans for the future of BGSU.
Deadly flames in Tiffin kill 6. BG24's Jason Harper talks with witnesses of the tragic fire.
We have the latest on the suspect of the Navy Yard shooting in Washington, D.C. Find out how he was able to get into the building.
Plus, a look at your Black Swamp weather forecast. This is your Campus and Community Connection.
Wood County's live local news starts right now. This is BG24 News, live at 5:30.
Hello everyone, I'm Madeline Fenning.
And I'm Dominique Hicks. Thanks for joining us tonight. President Mary Ellen Mazie gave her annual State of the University address this morning.
She highlighted achievements and goals for the university. One point President Mazie focused on was diversity. She says BGSU has hired 39 new faculty and staff of color. President Mazie also says she wants to increase revenue for the university, but not tuition.
It is incumbent upon each and every one of us to work hard to ensure that every student is retained, graduates, and goes on to a successful career.
She also says she wants to bring 1,000 new scholarships to the university for students.
President Mazie's goals on admission have also changed, and the current freshman class has the numbers to prove it. BG24's Jonathan Cowholtz explains.
As freshmen and their families pushed bins to their residence halls, signed room inventory forms, and received their room keys, the university received a record-breaking class. The class of 2017 brings an all-time high GPA of 3.31 and an ACT average of 22.6. That's the highest in more than 2 decades. Director of Admissions Gary Swegan says, in the past, Ohio funded the university based solely on a head count system. This meant that if the school enrolled more students, the school received more funding.
This year that has transitioned to Ohio wanting to pay, as I think they should, for success. Students that complete and ultimately graduate.
Though the GPA requirement will become a new standard, Swegan says students who scored lower are, quote, absolutely still welcome at BGSU. Dean of Students Jill Carr says she understands that BGSU is not an A-plus school.
We'd love to be that way, but we know we attract a certain population of high school students here and can bring them in and help them be successful and have them create an overall experience. We don't ever want to give that up.
Now that classes are in full swing here at BGSU, the school's goals have shifted. They're focusing on keeping students here, not just bringing students here. Dean Carr is also a leader in student affairs, a department heavily involved with retention. Carr says the school is trying a variety of new retention initiatives.
Things like linked courses for the first time this year. What we want to do is try to create that cohort feeling so that when students come in, there are at least 2 classes, and ideally 3, where they will actually be with the same group of students so they can develop that bond and that closeness.
Carr says the camaraderie was clear the first time she saw the freshman class.
There was a feel with that group of students that I haven't felt in a while. They were coming together quickly, there was energy, enthusiasm, a willingness to participate.
Ultimately, both Carr and Swegan are hopeful that what got students to BGSU will also keep them at BGSU.
I think what you're going to see is this year's increase in quality in the freshman class is going to lead to a dramatic increase in retention.
Because we know students who are successful in high school, again, are going to have a higher retention rate.
Carr says the retention rate for first-year to second-year students last year was just below 70%. The university's ultimate retention goal for first-year to second-year students is 80%. Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Jonathan Kyle-Holtz.
The ongoing abortion controversy reached campus earlier today. Feminist organization Force chanted and held posters in response to multiple pro-life abortion signs. Both groups handed out information about the opposing sides.
Campus safety is back in the spotlight after a sexual assault was near BGSU. Reporter Claudia Seibert says the focus is on the blue lights.
Less than a month ago, police say a BGSU student was raped outside this house right across the street from McFall. Freshman William Jackson was charged with 1 count of rape for assaulting a female student. Days after that story broke, parents raised concern about the safety of their students on campus. On a Facebook page for BGSU parents, one mother asked, "My daughter has informed me that the administration is planning to remove the blue emergency call phones from campus. I find this disturbing for the safety of my daughter. Why would the administration be considering this?" Captain Michael Campbell says the blue lights are staying, for now.
We're evaluating blue light phones, meaning that if one has to go out because of construction or some other development, we're evaluating if that's a good area to put one back in or if it's necessary. So we're not looking necessarily to expand it all at once.
Campus police spent the last 2.5 years monitoring the blue lights for their effectiveness.
Since May of 2012 till now, we've had no actual emergencies used on that phone.
Plus, he says they are expensive and there could be better alternatives.
We may be able to shift funding into other areas where we can make sure that people are safe as far as alert systems.
But Junior Danny Humburger thinks the blue lights are worth the high price tag, partly because they make him feel safe.
There was a little kid running around campus, and I saw a professor press one of them, and I'm assuming the kid got helped. So I think if they got rid of them, it'd be really bad. I've had a lot of long night walks back, and they make me feel safer.
Speaking of safety, Captain Campbell says every student should receive updates from Alert BG.
What we utilize the text alert system for is for emergency purposes. So whatever that emergency may be, we want to make sure we get that message out to the students, the faculty and staff, the campus community as a whole as quickly as possible.
Campus police will continue to review alternatives to the blue lights. As for tonight, the lights are the direct line to safety. Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Claudia Seibert.
Campus police say there are more than 50 blue lights on campus.
Students have been sweating it out to and from classes these past few weeks. Our reporter Rachel Badeko takes a look at students sweating it out, inside.
With temperatures hitting 90 degrees, a lot of students have air conditioning on the mind. But it seems freshmen across campus have different opinions on air conditioning affecting their experiences. McDonald resident Trent Groh is without air conditioning but doesn't seem to mind.
Unfortunately, here at McDonald Hall, we don't have air conditioning, so air conditioning here has actually brought about a sense of community.
On the other side of campus, air conditioning is a bit more essential to one resident.
Not having air conditioning has made it very difficult to sleep at night because it's extremely hot.
Some students do have the luxury of air conditioning in their dorm rooms. Centennial resident Tally Piazza thinks that air conditioning helps her with her studies.
Honestly, it's so nice coming home because it's really cool in my room. It's refreshing. I can sleep at night. I can get my work done without sweating.
Though the heat wave has subsided, most students say air conditioning does not run their lives. Their perspectives do. Reporting for BG24 News, this is Rachel Bediaco.
Less than half of the residence halls on campus actually have air conditioning.
McDonald Hall may not have air conditioning, but it does have a new interior. MAC underwent massive renovations over the summer. BGSU invested nearly $10 million to provide new entryways and lounges. There are new office spaces and multiple study areas. Students also have new furniture for the dorm rooms and lounges.
What I like most about the MAC renovations this year is the new living areas that they have, especially the new lounge that they have downstairs in the lobby with the pool table, the ping pong table, and all the lounge area where you can sit and study, and the air conditioning, especially when it's really, really hot out. So it's really nice to have all those and socialize with people.
Residence Life says the entrance was moved to the east side to create a better flow.
Nothing gets college students more excited than some free food. The Bowling Green Pita Pit is giving away free pitas to anyone who shows a valid BGSU ID, and it goes on till 10:30 tonight. In celebration of their anniversary, Pita Pit thought what better way to show appreciation for their customers than to give away free pitas. They are also accepting $1 donations for a charity that works to end childhood hunger.
Coming up next, the Wood County Air Fair was this weekend, and BG24's Daniel Grifford was there for the aviation action.
Plus, we have an update on the Colorado flood that has stranded hundreds with little food or water. Stay with us. Developing now, a house explosion in Troy Township has left 2 people dead and at least 8 at least 3 others injured. The explosion took place on Stony Ridge Road, northwest of Lucky, at about 5 a.m. this morning. Authorities are still looking for a 5th victim, a woman who may still be within the rubble. It took at least 4 fire departments to put out the blaze at the single-story home. The state fire marshal is at the scene investigating.
A fire killed 6 people just south of Wood County on Sunday. Reporter Jason Harper speaks with neighbors about the tragedy.
A fire in a Tiffin City trailer park killed 6 on Sunday morning. Timothy Fresh and his 5 young children were transported to Mercy Hospital where they were pronounced dead. Neighbors say it was the saddest thing that they've ever seen.
Yeah, there were 10-foot flames rolling out the 2 windows in the middle, and smoke was just rolling out. And after they finally got the back door opened, Rick and I watched firemen pull these lifeless bodies out the back door.
Bodies that were at one time kids, full of life, running around the neighborhood.
And when they walked, you'd see them walking in order. The kids were, because they were 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Really?
And they'd just walk in order.
After the tragedy, residents of Highland Trailer Park in the Tiffin community started to collect donations for the funeral.
Somebody has already making caskets for everybody, donating them.
Well, that's very
so the community is definitely pulling together.
A community that says they will never forget those 5 little faces.
They were happy and singing and skipping. Really? We're going to miss that bad.
Reporting from Tiffin, I'm Jason Harper, BG24 News.
So sad. Jason says there are a lot of rumors flying around the neighborhood about what caused the fire, but police say it's still under investigation.
Identity theft can be a scary thing, especially when it happens in the community. BG24's Ty Nathan speaks with a student whose identity was stolen.
Darren Pitts thought he lost his credit card earlier this month.
I might have dropped my card off somewhere, or misplaced it.
But he quickly realized he was a victim of identity theft.
They must have found my card and tried to use it at Circle K on Wooster.
His bank notified him after they noticed this man tried to use the card. Police caught that suspect, but other identity thieves are still out there. Major Tony Hetrick of the Bowling Green Police Department says people should be careful with their personal information.
If you're getting bank statements and things, either tear up those things or shred them before you throw them away. We do have people that go through dumpsters and look for that kind of information.
Major Hetrick says identity theft can later impact your future.
Your credit report can be impacted negatively if someone is out there using your information. If you try to get a loan later in life or credit cards, you may be stopped from doing so because of some negative things on your credit.
As for Darren Pitts, his advice is simple.
I'll say keep your card on you at all times and contact your bank as soon as possible if you find out your card is missing and report it stolen.
Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Ty Nathan.
On a lighter note, planes and helicopters filled the sky over the weekend for the Wood County Airfair. Reporter Danielle Griffith was there.
Aviation lovers from around the area attended a free show featuring numerous aircrafts of all kinds.
Here at the Wood County Regional Airport, members of the community came out this weekend to take their weekend to higher heights.
The Wood County Airfair is an event the Wood County Regional Airport Authority has created as a way of bringing people of the community, the county, and the region out to the airport to understand the importance of the airport, but also give an opportunity for people to see general aviation, which includes the smaller airplanes close up.
Several aircrafts were on display, even ones dating back to World War II. Visitors had the opportunity to take tours and flight experience rides. 2 lucky residents got the chance to take a ride with their uncle being pilot.
He flied now from twice. This is his second time. And I have flew a lot of times. A lot.
Now, if the aircrafts weren't enough to catch your attention, there were several military trucks and tankers that have been used in previous wars dated back in history. On top of the sights and sounds, there was smoke and barbecue to satisfy all hunger, plus vendors that had the opportunity to sell replicas of aircraft such as B-17, Avenger, and the Yankee Lady to take home and collect. For BG24 News, I'm Danielle Griffith.
Coming up next, the FBI is slowly learning more details about the suspect of the Navy Yard shooting. We have the latest.
Plus, a look at your Black Swamp weather forecast. We'll be right back.
Live local forecast with BG24 Black Swamp weather.
Hi, I'm Paul Metz, and this is your Black Swamp weather forecast. At current conditions, we have a high of 67 and sunny. It's pretty moderate today, so it's a good day to hang out outside. Also, we have winds at east at 6 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, we have a low of 50, partly cloudy, winds at southeast at 7 miles per hour, and sunset at 7:40 p.m. Tomorrow's forecast, we have a high 78 with partly cloudy skies, winds at south-southeast at 9 miles per hour. And tomorrow's night's forecast, we have a high 61, late showers towards the evening, winds at south at 8 miles per hour. Here's a national radar of the regional temperatures. Here in Toledo area, we have a high 64. Around the Bowling Green area, we have a 66 near Perrysburg. And we have around Sandusky, we have a high of 66 as well. Here's a regional radar as well. You see nothing, clear skies, so you don't expect any rain until about Thursday, so there's no clouds or any rain shower that's coming our way. Here we have a stationary front coming from the west with a cold front heading behind it, and we have another cold front coming from the south as well. Here's our 5-day forecast coming our way. At Wednesday, we have a high 78, low 61. On Thursday, we have a high 84 with a low 65. Expect some thunderstorms, isolated thunderstorms that day. And on Friday, we have scattered thunderstorms with a high 80 and a low 57. And on Saturday, we have mostly cloudy skies, but slightly sunny with a high of 68 and a low of 46. And on Sunday, it's sunny skies, no clouds in sight with a high of 68 and a low of 46.
Wow, that weekend weather looks awesome.
I know.
Clear skies, nice temperature. I'm liking that.
Just Thursday and Friday, you're going to expect some thunderstorms, but this weekend looks pretty well. So
nice. Well, very good.
Thank
you very much. In national news tonight, the FBI identified the dead suspect in Monday's mass shooting at the Washington Navy Yard. Authorities suspect 34-year-old Aaron Alexis killed at least 12 people and wounded 8 others. They are still searching for more information about Alexis and his motive. They are asking the public for help. Alexis was identified using fingerprints. He was discharged from the Navy following a pattern of misconduct and was currently a military contractor.
The death toll of Colorado flood is now 8. Hundreds are still unaccounted for in 2 counties alone, but officials assume most of them are still alive. Weather is clearing up across the region, but many evacuees are coming home to damaged houses. CNN reports nearly 18,000 homes around Colorado have damaged, and FEMA officials say more than 3,000 families have registered for help.
500 crew members flipped cruise liner Costa Concordia back upright this week. This is the cruise liner that wrecked onto the coast of an Italian island more than a year ago, killing 32 people. They are still looking for the remains of 2 bodies. The $80 million effort, which started on Monday, is the largest salvation mission of a cruise liner in history.
Coming up next, Falcon football traveled to Indiana to play a Big Ten opponent.
Find out what play has everyone talking. BG24 Sports is next.
It's un-Falcon believable coverage that you won't get anywhere else. This is BG24 Sports.
Welcome back to BG24 Sports. I'm Jackie Elliott. The Bowling Green State University football team suffered its first loss of the season Saturday, and it was a humbling one. The Falcons were in Bloomington, Indiana to play the Hoosiers. Paul Sin returned a block punt for 56 yards for a touchdown. That helped BGSU tie the game at 7 after the first quarter. But the Falcons offense never found the end zone the rest of the game. Indiana rolled to a 42-10 victory. BGSU is now 2-1 on the season. The next game will be held this Saturday at 3:30 at the Doyt against Murray State. Following the game, Bowling Green's Paul Sin was named MAC East Division Special Teams Player of the Week. The juniors' block punt was ranked number 1 on ESPN SportsCenter Top 10 Plays of the Week. The block punt led to the Falcons' first quarter touchdown. The men's BGSU soccer team hosted the Ohio State Buckeyes Friday. The Falcons opened the game with 1 win, 2 losses, and a tie. Coming off 2 losses, the Falcons looked to rebound against the Buckeyes. The first half of the game was scoreless for both teams. The Falcons had 16 shots on goal compared to the Buckeyes' lone shot on goal. During the second half, the shots on goal were more even. Shots favored the Falcons 8-7. After double overtime, the Falcons picked up their second tie of the season, with the final score 0-0. The men's rugby team hosted the Central Michigan Chippewas this past Saturday. This was the first home game of the season, and the Falcons were trying to avoid their first ever MAC loss. Bowling Green came out strong and were too much for Central Michigan, as the Falcons went on to beat the Chips by a whopping 44-12. The Falcons' next match will be held this Saturday, September 21st, out at the rugby field. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm Jackie Elliott, and we'll be right back.
You may have seen some students running around the university lawn with pipes between their legs this past weekend. The BGSU Quidditch team held tryouts to fill their 21-spot roster. The team was looking for chasers, beaters, snitches, and seekers. They play with broomsticks, making it more difficult to tackle and catch.
A lot of people think we're pretending to fly. We're not.
This weekend, they had more than 45 players try out.
You know, from just a couple people of us throwing a ball around to where we are now, it's amazing. I love Quidditch.
The team finished 3rd at the World Cup last year and hope they do as well or better throughout this year.
Quidditch, that sounds like so much fun, and this looks like it'd be the perfect weekend to do that based on the weather you told us. Absolutely. Well, that's all for BG24 News. For Dominique Hicks, Paul Mims, and Jackie Elliott, I'm Madeline Fenning.
Be sure to join us tomorrow night for our public affairs show with Parminda Banga.
If you have any comments or suggestions, visit our website at bg24news.org or our Facebook page at facebook.com/bg24news.
Have a great night, everyone.